What is up, guys? EJ here, aka Puckbond007, and welcome to the Movie Reviewers 100, this great collaboration channel here on YouTube that I am proud to be a part of. And this week it's Susan Sarandon week, so I chose the film Bull Durham from 1988. Now, I chose this movie for a couple of reasons. One, I'm in a great baseball mood, if you like. My San Francisco Giants just won 3 straight in Cincinnati to reach the NLCS. And a couple days ago, I had a great conversation, a surprising one, with one Mr. Ball, Forkaball, aka Ian. He does the reviews on Mondays on this channel. And even though he's a Liverpool fan, he shocked me with his baseball knowledge. And we had a great chat on Facebook for a couple hours about baseball and all kinds of stuff. So I was feeling in a baseball mood. And the other reason is I'm a big Susan Sarandon fan. She's one of my favorite actresses. She always has been. I just think she's one hell of a cool lady. The type I'd like to marry, to be honest. And Bull Durham is one of my favorite performances by her. So Bull Durham from 1988, written and directed by Ron Shelton. Famous for his sports movies. After this, he went on to make White Man Can't Jump, Cobb, the film about Ty Cobb with Tommy Lee Jones, and Tin Cup, a great golf movie that also starred Kevin Costner, of course. Then in the 2000s, he sort of took a turn for crime thrillers with Dark Blue, great film with Kurt Russell, and Hollywood Homicide, I believe is his most recent film with Harrison Ford and Josh Hartnett, which wasn't very good. But Bull Durham is essentially the quintessential movie about minor league baseball. It's about the single A club, the Durham Bulls from the Carolina League. And another reason why I chose this film is because the movie is really told from the point of view of Susan Sarandon's character, and that is Annie Savoy. She starts off narrating the film talking about the Church of Baseball. That's where she goes to worship. She's tried Christianity, and now she's a Buddhist, but her real religious belief is the Church of Baseball. And every season she picks one of the players to hook up with, and they always have a great season because of that. Yeah, she's very philosophical. She's always talking about poetry and metaphysics and all that kind of stuff. And then we are introduced to Tim Robbins' character, of course, the man she'd eventually marry. I believe they met on this film. Scott, if you know any better, you probably do. They may have met before this, but I believe they met on this movie. Tim Robbins and Susan Sarandon, who are, of course, married to this day. Yeah, Tim Robbins plays Ebby Calvin LaLoosh, nicknamed Nuke LaLoosh, of course. And he's a hot young pitcher with a $1 million arm, but a 5-cent head. And he's the new young stud in the organization. The first time we see him, he's in the clubhouse going at it with Millie, played by Jenny Robertson, the sort of blonde girl who's Annie's friend. She holds the radar gun to clock the pitches. But at the beginning, they're having sex in the clubhouse before he has to go out and pitch. And she has a great line about LaLoosh, about his way in bed. She says he pitches like he fucks, pretty much all over the place. And of course, then we are introduced to Kevin Costner's character, Crash Davis, a lifetime minor leaguer. He has the dubious distinction of heading towards the minor league home run record. He has like 227. He's been in the been a professional baseball player for a long time, and he's the player to be named later. That's like his opening line when he comes into the clubhouse. He's a catcher, of course, and he's basically sent to the Durham Bulls to help mold Nuke Lelouch and bring him along, so he can eventually get to the majors, or the show as it's often called in this film. It's a very funny movie. So many great moments. The opening scenes with Kevin Costner and Tim Robbins are great. At the bar, they sort of have a fight. They both want to take out Annie Savoy. They both want to dance with her, and but they end up going outside to have a little have a fight. And Kevin Costner challenges Nuke Lelouch to throw a baseball at him from about 5 feet away, and of course he misses him by a mile because he has no control. Smashes a window. Great moments like that are throughout this film. It's very funny. Watching it again, I hadn't seen it in just a couple years, I'd say. But it's one of the classic baseball films of the 80s. Beyond that, Susan Sarandon ends up picking Nuke to be the one that she sleeps with throughout the season. And of course, we have the scene where they both, she invites them both to her house, and Kevin Costner doesn't want to stay. He leaves. He doesn't believe in what she's selling, and of course she asks him, "What do you believe in?" And he has his famous speech where he says, "I believe in. I believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. I believe that the designated hitter and AstroTurf should be outlawed, and long, wet, soft kisses that last for 3 days." It's a great moment, and Susan Sarandon replies, "Oh my." She has a beautiful southern accent in this film. It's one of my favorite performances by her, like I've mentioned. She's just divine in this. She's very sexy, very sensual, and that's why I like her so much in this movie. So yeah, beyond that, they go throughout the season. They have a pretty shitty start to the season, and that brings up another great character I want to talk about. And that's the skipper, or just Skip, played by Trey Wilson, and the assistant manager, played by Robert Wuhl, named Larry. There's a scene where they basically huddle everybody into the showers because he wants to have a go at the players, and he says, "You've been lollygagging in the infield, lollygagging to first base. Bunch of lollygaggers." That's a famous moment, and he asks Larry, "What's our record, Larry?" 8-16, and he says, "How did we win 8 games? It's a miracle." Great moments like that are some of the reasons why this is such a great movie, and has a great script. Interestingly enough, Shelton was nominated for an Academy Award for this script, and he also won for the WGA, the Writers Guild Association, for Best Original Screenplay for Bull Durham. And I forgot that it's not until like the last 20 minutes that Kevin Costner finally hooks up with Susan Sarandon. Towards the end of the movie, Nuke Lelouch is called up to the majors, to the big club, and because of this, they don't need Crash Davis in Single A anymore. He gets released from his contract, and that's when he sort of finds himself in the arms of Susan Sarandon. I also forgot to mention some of the baseball scenes in this movie are great. I love when, because most of the baseball scenes are when Nuke is pitching and Crash Davis is catching, and he's always shaking off Crash's signs. He doesn't want to throw breaking balls. He always wants to throw the fastball, the heater, and a couple times Crash tells the batter what's coming. He tells him a fastball, and then the guy hits a home run, hits the bull in the process, and he just stands there and admiring his home run. And I love when Kevin Costner says, "Run, dummy! I give you a gift like this, and you show up my picture. Run!" Stuff like that. Just great moments. Kevin Costner is having a lot of fun in this movie, and it really sort of gets in the heads of baseball players. When Kevin Costner is at bat, you hear what he's thinking as the pitch is about to come, saying quick bat, and stuff like that, and bring that weak ass shit. It's a great script, stuff like that, or throughout the movie, and it's very funny. It's great sports comedy, romantic comedy, just a quintessential baseball film. Um, and it's interesting in the way that it ends too, because it doesn't end on a very happy note. Like I said, Costner and Sarandon eventually hook up, but it's sort of at the end of the season. But there's no big championship game. There's nothing like that, and that makes it sort of interesting for a modern sports movie. So those are my rambling thoughts on Bull Durham. I watched it again last night, and trying to remember stuff is hard sometimes, but it's a great film. Bull Durham from 1988. Susan Sarandon week, one of my favorite performances by her. Very sexy, and I'll leave you with the picture of her in the batting cage. That's another scene I forgot to mention, when her and Kevin Costner are exchanging barbs in the batting cage. So thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see ya.